Hey guys, what's up? Austin Smith here. This on the table is a Victorinox Pocket Pal. This is not going to be a review. I will be reviewing this knife at some point, but I've just been carrying this every day. It looks fairly new, except when you get it in the light like that. It's got a couple scratches. I've used it, but not terribly much. Don't really have too much use for a pocket knife, even though I carry one, especially recently, which is why I'm making a video that isn't a review and probably won't be making a review for a couple weeks. I've just been really busy lately. Got a bunch of work I'm doing in my hometown. There is a thing called Art Walk. I think they have them in some other towns too. And I'm going to be an artist that is participating in this event, and I've got a lot of work to do related to that. So, I just wanted to make a video, and it's not going to be a review. I guess it could be a vlog or something like that, but I've been thinking about it actually, and I'm not really sure if it has a point. And so, if you like watching videos with a point, I've only wasted a minute and 20 or so seconds of your time right now. So, you can leave. This knife is mine. I bought it a month or so ago, I think, a few weeks ago, and it is brand new, so it's pretty much brand new. I got it out of the package, and the reason I got it is so that I can have mine, one that is mine. Recently I also got, a classic, Victorinox Classic, that is mine, and it's brand new, and it's the one that's mine, and I like that. I like having things that are mine and have always been mine, and I like having the brand. Here's probably one of my favorite Victorinox models. This is the Escort, and it's only got a blade and the nail file screwdriver. The reason I like it is because it's so thin. Even the Classic is already pretty thin, and you can see that it's thinner than the Classic. And this I got used, which is why the shields weren't off. I don't think I use a knife enough to wear the shield off. I would probably buy a new one, honestly, if the shield ever started to wear off, because I'm just that kind of person. But, anyway, back to the Pocket Pal. This is my new Pocket Pal, because I wanted a brand new one, and I wanted a brand new one to kind of replace this one. This is my brother's, or it was my brother's. It's mine now. Still got his name engraved on it. As you can see, it doesn't have any markings anymore unless you kind of look really closely and tilt it in the light. You can kind of see the Victorinox shield where it was at one point there. And it does say Victorinox. Let's see if you can get that to focus. Victorinox. Now, if you noticed, that blade is very different than the blade I just showed you. This knife got a lot of use from my brother. And as you can see, there's no belly in the blade anymore, and it's about half, even less than half, the width now. It's very tiny. Really tiny knife now. And even the secondary blade here has been worn down a bit. I would never use the secondary blade unless I was in some sort of emergency where the first blade broke or something like that. But you can see this has been worn down, and it's still sharp. My brother gave it to me sharp. I haven't used it really. It cuts paper. Not as sharp as this. Pretty much brand new. Used it to cut a few envelopes, open a few packages. Nothing too terrible. Just stuff that you do when you carry around a pocket knife. But the point is, this one's mine, and this one, even though it's mine now, is probably still going to be my brother's forever. It's got his name on it, like I say, and at this point it's useless. I will admit that. If I couldn't give this to anyone else and have them think it's worth anything. It's beat up, it's broken, essentially. It's really hard to open in comparison. I mean, it's not terrible to open, but I mean, that blade is so tiny now. That blade is not going to hold up. It's all scratched. It should probably be thrown out, but it's my brother's knife, and it's my knife now, and I'm going to keep it. And like I keep all the other stuff my brother gave me, even when it's not particularly good. This is a Duke that he got when he was in France. As you can see, if you know anything about Dukes, this is not in the best of shape. It's missing some paint, because he tried to cut a lemon with it, and actually it looks a lot better than when I got it. Did a bit of light work on it, so just so that it wouldn't rust away into nothing. But, you know, he uses a lot of stuff and then just gives it to me. It's still, I mean, useful. I could use this as a knife, but it's not nearly as useful as this would be. It doesn't look nearly as nice as this. It doesn't have the shield, in fact. The shield might have been purposefully scratched out. You can see the scratches there. Don't know why you would do that, but, you know, someone did do that. But, you know, I remember before I ever got this knife when I was a little kid. Very tiny. Might have been 5 or 6. My parents would let me use a knife every once in a while, use a pocket knife. Dad taught me to whittle, but I didn't get one. And maybe I was 6 or 7, first, second, third grade. So 6 to 8, somewhere in there I would get my knives. And I got my own knives, essentially. I never asked my parents to get me knives, for the most part. My parents happened to have some knives lying around, so I either kind of abducted them or I bought them really cheap from some crappy show because I didn't know better. And I got things like this. This is a fake Victorinox classic. Very stiff opening. That blade is completely dull. Nothing. I didn't even use these ones that much. Let's see, the scissors work. Scissors kind of work. This is not quality, and I knew that. I knew it wasn't the best. I'd say it's a Swiss Army knife. Some people would say it's just a rip-off Swiss Army knife, but I'd say it's still a Swiss Army knife. But my brother had a real one, even if it didn't have all the tools or anything on it. My brother had a real Swiss Army knife, and I mean, it's $10. It's not much. Cost me $11, brand new. So it wasn't much money. And had I known that, I probably would have gone and bought one at the time. Probably wouldn't have been that hard. They have them available at most hardware stores. They have them available at my hardware store. You can go and buy them, you know, at Target, I think. I think Target sells Pocket Pals. They sell some classics. That's why I got this. And I just remember, you know, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't like my brother was, like, it wasn't something that was out of this world. I mean, I knew people had Swiss Army knives, but a real one was pretty cool. And, you know, I like it because of that. And so I'm going to keep this knife. I mean, I have no reason to throw it away. It cuts still. It's still a knife. But, like I say, I'm not really entirely sure what the point is, but as a kid, I guess, this one was, my brother is older than me, but he was a kid when he got this, if I remember correctly. Early Boy Scouts. And he used it a lot. I mean, it's a used knife, and it's got a bunch of history that I'll never know, that other people will never know. And I think it's just interesting to think about. I have all sorts of knives that I've gotten used. This is a Winger Esquire. This is a Swiss Army. Happens to be a Swiss Army knife. Got that used. And, here's a Schrade fruit knife. This thing's really long. It's crazy. And this is used. These ones weren't used by my brother, but like I say, that Duke, that was used by my brother. The only thing I know this was used for was to cut a lemon. I could have done hundreds of other things. And so it's interesting to think about maybe what this knife went through. This knife was seized at TSA, and I bought it for $1 from a resale shop in Texas, surplus store. It says Angelica on the back, which I believe is a linen supplier to hospitals in Austin, Texas. And, you know, where did this come from? Why was that there? I think it's interesting to think about. Same thing when collecting fountain pens. I collect fountain pens that are used, and various other things. Some things have more stories than others. Utensils, like knives, have a lot more potential stories. And that's why I really like the name Pocket Pal. Just stays with you, goes with you everywhere, handy to have around. And as long as you use it in the correct situation, it won't let you down. I mean, it's not a survival knife. If you're trying to use it to do that, then you know, you could have some problems. You could have some great results. It could be amazing and work fantastic for you. I hope it does, if you ever have a Victorinox knife in that situation. But it's just a good thing to have around, and I think having the old one and the new one is nice. It's especially, it looked interesting. I'll always have the image in my mind now of this new one coming out of the box and comparing it to this old one, because that's the first thing I did, and my brother was actually here when I did that, and it was great. It was fun to see. It was interesting, and this knife will eventually have, hopefully, as many stories as this knife. Maybe more, maybe less, but hopefully it'll be equivalent, and I like that idea. So, like I said, not sure if there was a point in there somewhere. I'm sure there was. If you know, got bored and stopped watching, I apologize. I apologize into the ether because you're obviously not here anymore. But thank you for watching if you did, and hopefully I'll be making a couple more videos this month, but I unfortunately won't have any reviews or anything because I will be making a lot of art, and I will be selling, hopefully, a lot of art, and then there's Thanksgiving, and hopefully I'll be spending that with my family. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.